casual, right?
Yeah, just the average Wednesday. No, it was, Jonah does this thing where he kind of likes to throw you in the deep end. And yeah, we did it all in one day. The bed scene, if you'd like to put it that way. And then this humongous, epic, large-scale fight sequence. And yeah, I was pretty sore the next day. Like I say, endurance, not high. So that was a tough day. But also how great to just eat the frog and get it out of the way. And yeah.
Eat the frog.
Eat the frog. You know that expression?
I don't think I've heard it.
Oh.
No, everybody says it.
Just me that eats frogs? It's a European thing, I guess. Writers.
How did you want to set the tone of the series, with this wedding massacre?
One of the first days of shooting with Ella was the honeymoon, what we call the honeymoon suite scene. Up until lunch, we were shooting a love scene, which is always complicated and difficult. And then after lunch, it turns into something very, very different. And so we knew from the beginning, working with our incredible stunt coordinator, our incredible special effects team, that we were going to kind of go for it.
We must have had 100 people in there, 100 stunt people, and this massive fight sequence. But again, in the Fallout tone, where you've got a trifle getting chopped in half, and someone spraying champagne. It's everywhere you look, it's something bonkers and crazy, and it was hard not to smile and to look scared. I really just was like a kid in a candy, like, this is crazy.
Was there one take during that whole wedding scene that required the most takes, and any behind-the-scenes stories?
Ooh, yeah, it's a good question. There's a lovely moment where she's walking forward, shot in slow-mo, where she shot one of the raiders with a dart, and it's taking a couple seconds for it to kick in, and she's walking forward on this mezzanine. Our production designer, Howard Cummings, who is incredible, built for us this giant full mezzanine layer so you could look out over the vault. It was really important for us with the vault that it feel the way that it feels in the games, which is this environment that's real. It's not just one hallway and a door and then we turn it around and cheat it. It was this vast space that we built. Coordinating all those pieces was, it was shot in I think 3 different locations to make it all look like it's one. We had a volume set that we were shooting on over her shoulder. It's a volume in Long Island when we're looking at her. It's our stages in Brooklyn. Like it's a lot of pieces, but it kind of comes together hopefully seamlessly.
I had a lot of fun with my little sequence because I got to wield a shovel in a most unusual way, and there was also a barrel full of pickles that was part of the story that I got a big kick out of. So it was the first reveal of sort of a darker person or someone who's capable of more than we think, and we see that through the eyes of his daughter. So she is a little stunned at his capacity for violence. I think it brings up the question is where and how does he know how to do these things, which I thought was interesting as a reveal. We don't know yet, we don't find out yet, we will, but I thought, it's a nice little crumb for the audience to find.
So if you thought of Lucy at this point as a little naive, and we know right away that she's decent and kind, maybe a little naive. She certainly doesn't know anything about the world above ground, maybe a little privileged, but we realize very quickly that she's also tough as hell. So I just love this sequence because by the end of it, you have a much better idea of who you're dealing with.
How did the decision come about for that to kind of start off the series?
Well, yeah, we kind of wanted to sort of waste no time and get into it and burst the bubble of, we talked a lot about the vault as the Shire, in the Lord of the Rings world. There was definitely pages and pages we wrote of hanging out there, but until reality comes in to burst that bubble, it would become annoying or something. You're kind of craving them to deal with something cataclysmic to upset the sort of happy, shiny people bubble that they're in.
Sir, please don't make me use force.
By the time that sequence is over, I think, if the audience is in any doubt about the kind of universe that Fallout, the kind of experience they're in for, I think by the end of that sequence, they know.
I was also really struck by the song choice, Some Enchanted Evening.
Yes.
How did that come about?
I don't recall. All I know is I've heard that song 100,000 times. It's still blaring. It's in my ears. I've never heard a song more in my life.